All right, and welcome again to today's video where we're going to cover a lot of points. All of them are important, and they're about RVs, RV dealers, and too many RV buyers who get themselves into trouble. If you are new to the channel, I'm the RV Wingman. I help people avoid making serious and costly mistakes when buying an RV. And if you've got a problem with your RV, your dealer, your manufacturer, I may be able to help you at no charge. So if that's you, let me hear from you. All right, I recently sat down with a guy who is, well, I think he's a real character. He seems like a straight shooter. His name is Stick Bogart. Yes, Stick. Stick has worn many hats in his life, from being an automotive professional to becoming a trusted RV mechanic and a salesperson. And he's even served as an expert witness in court cases against RV manufacturers. As you're going to see, he is someone who doesn't hold back, and his candid insights into the RV world just might save you from making some costly mistakes. Now, as you're listening, if you have any comments or questions, or maybe you'd like us to talk more about something in another video, leave me a voicemail or shoot me an email or post it in the comment section down below, and I will add it to my to-do list. All right, let's get going. You were an automotive guy first before you became an RV sort of expert, and now you're an expert witness. What do you actually do in the RV industry? And then we can kind of talk about how you got there.
Well, when I did become an RV mechanic and I learned everything that you're supposed to learn, and I got licensed by the state of Florida for LP gas. You have to be licensed in Florida to work on LP gas, ammonia gas, and natural gas appliances. I did that at the dealership because they didn't have anybody that did that, and I wanted to ramp it up for that. So then I would see some people getting ripped off. I mean, seriously ripped off. And I mean, I knew all the aspects of generators, everything. And, you know, I did sell cars for a while, so I learned the process of selling something, you know, a vehicle, RV or car to people. And I was reading on the internet where these people are getting ripped off, and why do they got to pay that? Why do they have to do this? Whatever. The dealership, even where I worked at, sometimes they wouldn't even repair a customer's problem that, you know, that should have been fixed before they put it on the lot for sale.
Hang on just a second, Stick. Are you telling me that this RV dealership hired you, not realizing that you had that thing called a conscience?
Yeah, but I did it in a professional way. So I would go into the sales manager and I'd say, why can't you fix this? If I go over and talk to Uncle Tom, he's going to be mad at you. This should be fixed. It's all about name reputation. And it didn't do it in a negative fashion. Sometimes there would be a salesman that would sell it. And I said, well, that needs to be fixed. Oh, don't worry about it. They'll come back and they'll pay for it. I says, no, it should have been fixed when it was on the lot. You should be doing this. That's why I got that LP gas, that license to do that, so I could check it out before you put it on the lot. Even if you were going to take one in, I wanted everything out in the open. If you're going to take this RV and trade, let me do a pre-delivery inspection on this coach that you're getting ready to buy from the customer. So my mission, it wasn't something that they were doing purposely to be negative. It was just maybe the salesperson didn't want to fix it. I told you that's not working right. We need to fix it. Well, don't worry about it. I said, no, I'm going to go to your boss, or I'm going to go to Uncle Tom. We're going to fix it.
And hang on, Uncle Tom was who? The owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
He would get mad if your manager, you worked at the bottom of the totem pole, and your manager didn't want you to do something, and you thought it was wrong, and you go to Uncle Tom. That what we call him that. If you go to him and tell him what's going on, he says, "I'll take care of it." Make sure that your manager knows that he's not allowed to stop you from talking to me. You can talk to me anytime you want about anything. If a manager tries to stop you, I'll fire them.
But hang on just a second. Did you say something? Maybe I didn't hear you right. I thought you said that you wanted to do a pre-delivery inspection before the dealer bought an RV. Did I hear that right? What is that all about?
Okay, let's say that you're going to be buying an RV from us in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And Mrs. Johnson she doesn't know, and her husband doesn't. They've had it for a good while, and they would come to us because we had a good reputation. That they want to trade this thing in. They don't need it anymore. They're not going to be doing any RVs anymore, RV traveling or anything anymore. Maybe they don't have a place to put it. They're tired of paying their rent storage.
Yeah.
That could be expensive. And so I would talk to them, and I would get to know them a little bit about it, because they're getting ready. Even the sales manager at the RV part of it would say, "Hey, Stick, go check the coach out for us." And they would. He had a little piece of paper drawn up. They typed it up. Mary Pittard, she drawn up some papers, a pre-delivery inspection of a coach that we're going to take in. And because I requested that, and that would be a positive way of presenting to the customer, we'd like to check your coach out and take a look at it. And you can be there if you want to. So we're going to go through the coach and get familiar with what you have. And the customers would agree to it. They wanted to be open because they liked the dealership and the reputation. That's why they came there.
Hang on. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to
No.
understand. So hang on. Every RV dealership just about will take an RV in trade. They'll take somebody's trade, or they'll buy a used RV, and
Yeah.
they do their own inspection. I mean, they don't buy it sight unseen. Are you telling me that they don't do a thorough inspection when they take, many dealers don't do a thorough inspection when they take a used RV in on trade?
No. Well, you yourself look at how many complaints that are out there. People complaining that their coach didn't have this, or this was falling off, or the roof is leaking. They don't.
They don't do a proper inspection, generally speaking, on the used RVs that they take in trade. Correct. So when they sell them to this buyer that is,
they don't know and don't care. They don't know. No, they don't care. A lot of them don't care.
Who doesn't care?
A lot of the dealerships that you go to buy an RV that's used, that they took in a trade, they don't care if it's got a problem with it or not. Some of them don't care. Well, look, do they care when they put a brand new coach on the lot from Indiana and it's got problems? Those problems should have been spotted and checked out before it was put on the lot.
And they're not spotted. They're not checked, even though they say that they are, and they will be checked, and they are checked. But you're telling me it's a shallow, very, very shallow, very quick inspection going, yep, it's got 4 tires on it. They look all black and we're good to go.
Yeah. I went to an RV dealer a few months ago with a friend of mine, and because he and his wife was looking at a small travel trailer, something small that they could put in their garage. It wasn't big. It was just like a little sleep box, if you want to call it that. And we were walking the lot looking at, there were RVs that they had brought in from another location. They were absolutely horribly filthy. But they put them on the lot for display. Oh, we haven't had a chance to clean it or go through it. They had them delivered there. They were real little tiny little things, and it was filthy. And I was walking to another one while they were looking at one next to them. I was looking at like a standard Class A or a Mini, whatever, and they were filthy. The blinds were busted, hanging down. And if there's anything wrong, we'll take care of it.
But Stick, and the buyers, I would think that the buyer has to assume some responsibility and go, if they're going to take care of it like this before I gave them my money, how are they going to take care of me after I give them my money?
If you get a customer to like you, you can tell them anything. Customers like to buy from people they like.
What kind of mistakes do you see or you hear about when people are buying an RV? I mean, let's start out. What are the 3 biggest things, maybe 2 biggest things that you see? I want to buy an RV and I'm going to go to a dealer. What are the things that you, Stick Bogart, see that I do wrong? What are the common things?
First of all, you don't do your homework. You need to do a little bit of research on your own. What different types of RVs do they have? Okay. And one of the other things is you don't want the elephant pushing the dog down the highway. So you need to learn the towing capacity of the vehicle that you're going to use if you're going to pull a trailer. How much weight will that vehicle pull? Because if the truck says you can only pull 10,000, but you got a trailer that's 12.5, and then you stop and not think, how much weight have you put in it with all of your camping gear? when you're going down the hill, is that truck going to be able to stop that? You're asking for trouble. Do your homework of what type you want. Where are you going to put it? If you can't, and do your homework, if you live in a homeowners association, can you park it on your property? Yes or no? Is it for a short period of time, or is it for as much time as you want? And then then you got to start calling around, get an idea, like I said, about what we're going to buy and how much is it going to cost to store that RV at a storage facility. Call up 3 or 4 different ones, because there's going to be different price ranges. How much money are you willing to commit for storage, because you can't put it at your property? It's going to cost that every month. And call your insurance company if you're going to get a bigger RV or smaller RV. What's it going to cost monthly for insurance for that vehicle? Get an idea of the costs of everything before you sign anything.
You know, I have, for years, I was doing this, I call it my free RV report, telling people the basics, and some of, just like you said, you know, I mean, do your homework. The problem, and this is the reality, I think, Stick, is that many, maybe more than half of the problems that people have, why they're angry, were self-inflicted wounds from their ignorance, their failure, unwillingness to recognize they better do their damn homework. Don't just go trust a salesperson. Don't trust that big American flag at Camping World. Don't do it. You've got to have some kind of knowledge. You know, what do they say about wisdom? Wisdom comes with patience, time, and experience. And people have no patience. They want it right now, and they have no experience, and they start bitching when things go bad. And they didn't do their homework like you're talking about.
Fools in their money.
Then they get mad at me when I tell them, hey, you know, you can't go back.
Yeah, well, there's no 3-day right of like if people buy a car, they think, oh, I can bring it back. I don't want it. There's no 3-day cooling off period. It's yours.
Yep.
You know, I always say that fools and their money are soon parted. And I'd say, it won't be long now, fool.
And it's sad, you know, but I can't blame in a sense, I can't blame the dealers. If a sucker walks into a casino and wants to, you know, split a pair of tins, let them do it. I mean, if the dealer has somebody that's that foolish, and I'm going to get people mad at me, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying you don't even know what you don't know. And it's important to listen to people like you or me or lots of other people that are saying, just tap the brakes.
Yeah, slow down a little bit. You know, you know, it's just like they say, don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry.
Exactly.
Okay, so you do your homework, because you're putting a lot of money on the table. Let me tell you, once you buy it, it's yours. They're not giving you the money back. It's done. And learn what you're buying. Will it fit? Will it fit your needs? Like you say, do your homework. Go to a if you want. I tell people, if you want to, because a lot of people are emotional buyers in America. Okay, other different cultures like the Orientals and people from India and stuff like that, they value their money more than what they're going to buy. Americans value what they want to buy more than their money. Think about that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so when a customer would come on a dealership's lot and it's just the wife, they're going to call her a one-legged up. The other half is not there. They're probably not going to be able to close the deal. Oh, I got a one-legged up. Okay, the other half's not there. They toned it down a little bit. They're not going to really put the pressure on as much as they would if both people are there. Even if you're a single guy, my wife's not here with me. No, you got a one-legged up. Do the best you can. So the pressure.
And hang on. Is that because from a sales technique, the salesperson only has one person to manipulate? When there's two people, the husband and wife, for example, it's easier for a manipulative salesperson to say, I can pit them against, I can get them to start dreaming, and you figure out who's the leader, who's the weak. Who's the weak one? And you start working to your advantage, not necessarily to the customer's advantage.
Yeah. When I sold Nissans, I would never put a lot of pressure on a woman, and because her husband's not there, maybe. You know, you get to talk to them, and they'll tell you, "Oh, my husband's at work right now, and I wanted to look at the new Maximus, and because we were discussing it." Yeah. I'm not going to put as much pressure. I'd say, "Look, come on down here with your husband and take it for a ride, enjoy it." And I give them my card if they're getting ready to leave. So there's not going to be as much putting them on the boiler. if it's just one spouse and you know that there's a married couple there, or the husband. Men will get a lot more pressure put on them if they're by themselves and their wife's not there than the woman if she's there by herself and her husband's not there. Even if she's not married, just say, hey, my husband's not here with me, but I wanted to see what's out there. Can you give me your card while we're looking around and see what's out there? Yeah.
What about the importance of the dealer relationship after the sale? I've said for years that that it's more than just the price you get and a big smile and a thank you. It's the after the sale experience. What are your words of advice for people about the importance of that? And maybe not. If you're mechanically inclined, you don't need a relationship with a dealer, maybe. I don't know.
It's good if you can develop a good relationship with the dealership. But one of the problems with that is that makes it hard for that to happen is salespeople don't stay anywhere any long time. They don't stay there for long periods of time. So every time you go, well, where's Mike? Well, he's not here today. What I'm really telling you is he don't work
won't
there
be
no
there
more.
any day. Well, and that's another reason why when I go and I'm shopping for an RV or, especially something like an RV, not only do I want a knowledgeable salesperson, they're all going to be friendly because they all want your money. I'd like to find out how long they've been there. What's the vibe of the place? Because if it's, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's like you said, the people may work there for 6 months and be gone. And you go in, you have an issue, and you are coming in cold. And nobody.
Good luck with that. That happens a lot more in the RV dealerships than it does in the auto dealerships.
Absolutely,
a shorter period of times.
Yeah.
Because in Florida, I want to go make some money while we're camping here for the next 6 months or 3 months, whatever. I'm going to go down to the dealership and see if I could hire me. They hire me because if they've been camping a lot, they know how things work in trailers because they got to fix them sometimes on their own.
Yeah.
So they're familiar with all the features and functions of the coach they got, and they show a newbie of what to look for. So they might go there at the dealership and get a job for 3 months and then they're gone. You never see them again. So there's people at the RV dealerships usually don't last there for a long period of time. So expect that.
So being, a long-time employee with a dealership that's been run and managed by the same people for a long time is critically important.
It is important, and don't buy on the first time you go to the dealership. I offered a lady one time, I would go with her to a dealership. I'd charge her, that time I was charging $300, and I'd go to the dealership with her and oversee her and make sure and be her protector. And she said, you do that? I said, yes. And she says, here's the money, let's go. So we met at a coffee shop. I went with her at the dealership and walked her through everything and signed everything. And if I didn't like the deal or something, I would tell the dealership, no, she doesn't want to do that. This is what she wants to do. She told me about it. This is where we're going to do the deal. Otherwise, we could take our business to another dealership. They don't want that. And so I ramped it up. I took a couple to an RV show and sale. And I said, I'm going to tell you everything. We're going to walk a lot out there because they bring lots of RVs when those show and sales. Especially the big one at the football stadium. It's huge. And I said, well, I'm going to tell you everything about this, what to expect, what not to expect, and get familiar with them. And I would say, okay, just pretend I'm a salesperson and I'm going to show you, what are you looking for? I'm your guard dog. And they paid me the $450 to walk the lot with them. And they did buy. And the dealership said, hey, Stick, thanks for bringing them. No, I said, they made the choice. I'm here with them, and we're going to go through this together. And they love that.
Hang on. That, to me, I don't know, but that sounds like an honorable dealer. But a sleazy dealer, when a Stick Bogart shows up or when the Wingman shows up and says, hey, check this out. Look for a roof leak here. Look for see how the floor is soft. Look, if this is the way it is before you take delivery, it's not going to get any better on its own.
And what did you not see?
Yeah, what did you not see? You don't know yet.
Yeah.
And so sleazy dealers, what I was saying is they don't like people like that. They want the customer just to come on in, go out, do on your shakedown trip and come back in a couple of weeks with your list and we'll get her all fixed up. What would you say if a dealer said that to to one of your customers.
Oh, so you don't do any inspections on these coaches before you bring them to the RV show and sale. So you don't know if there's anything wrong with them or not because you never checked them out. How about the gas system? Does it leak? I
Well,
don't know is what you're going to say.
And during the pandemic, the dealers could get away with that because there were so many buyers. They were buying everything on the lot. So they didn't have to do all the stuff that they may have done before the pandemic. And now, are you seeing the dealers are starting to get a little bit better? Some of them are getting a little bit better and paying more attention.
A little bit better. Now you can see a little bit better. It's all about profit. It's about boom, boom, boom. Get rid of these coaches. We got more coming in. We got to sell them. Well, what about if I was a salesman? Why are we not checking these out? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Stick. They'll bring it back and we'll take care of it. Just sell it. But people, like I said, Americans are more emotionally attached to what they want instead of their money.
I worry that the industry has sold so many units that were so crappy during COVID that they've ruined some people from making another purchase experience in the future. Because it used to be young people would start out with a small travel trailer and they work their way up. And every 5 years, 10 years, whatever, you get a little bit bigger one and the industry would make multiple sales to one family. But I'm concerned that all those people, not all of them, but many of the people that were seduced, that made their purchase during the pandemic, were disillusioned and let down by a poor construction or a bad dealer experience. And they said, forget it. I ain't going to buy one of those things again.
Well, when it comes to design and coaches, you just made me think of something. What's the difference between Cowboys boots and engineers boots?
You tell me.
The Cowboys boots, the manure's on the outside. Well, because sometimes engineers do things stupid. They don't think about things. Look at a fifth wheel travel trailer that's really long. They've got all these different slide outs, and you've heard about them talking about the frame cracks.
Oh yeah.
And the sides. You can see them going down the road, but you see them they don't look very old at all, and they got these bubbles on the skin of the side of the coach.
Yep.
Well, why couldn't they put a bigger frame underneath of that coach? A stronger, heavier duty frame. You don't see 18 wheelers pulling 80,000 pounds with the frames cracking. The frames are not big enough. So they don't think about that. I still think that somewhere related to engineers, I still think what they're dealing with is the steel frames are inferior steel and they're not heavy enough gauge. And where's the steel coming from?
Back. The industry is going to push back and say, first off, we can't make them any heavier because then trucks won't pull them. I mean, this is what they're saying, that they'll be too heavy for the trucks to pull. And so there's got to be a price point. And some of that is true. Some of it's true. And my response is then stop building those big monster fifth wheels that are going to break on people. Build something that is towable. If it's not 42 feet and only 38 feet, make it 38 feet, but don't let it fall apart when I'm driving on the highway.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
this is why I don't have many friends, because I just speak it. I'm not trying to side with one or the other. I'm just trying to be logical and rational.
Yeah, focus on building the unit where you're going to have a good reputation because the coaches you do manufacture are going to last for a longer period of time.
Yeah, but it seems like if one manufacturer goes, we can make this, the other ones go, holy crap, we can do it too. And they start chasing this thing that may turn into the frame flex issue, maybe.
Yeah.
And then they start tweaking their warranty to where that it's just impossible to get any solution. People are buying these RVs, Stick Bogart, that are spending their entire life saving some people.
Or they're or they're making payments for a long period of time. Financially obligated to that thing for a long time, It bothers me when people complain about the coach where the profit is more important than building a quality coach, so people can enjoy this manufacturer's coaches. I have to get back on a case of a brand new RV that somebody bought, and the wife won't even get in it because she's afraid it's going to leave them stranded. They spent that one. They spent almost $200,000 for it.
When it comes to you watching YouTube videos that RVers are making, what goes through your mind when you hear people complaining and griping and all that kind of stuff? What kinds of thoughts go through your mind?
The first thing is, you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your homework. Where are the pre-delivery inspection documents? I ask that all the time. I'll post that up there. Ask the video on your videos. Ask the people, when you bought a brand new motorhome, did you ever get any pre-delivery inspection documents including the LP gas safety check and operation? Did you get that? This is a device where you can use this, or they can use this right here to check to find out if it's got an LP gas leak on it or not. They don't want to do that. They don't want to pay the technicians. But I challenge, if out of 1,000 people that buy out of 10,000 people that buy an RV, what percentage do you think got pre-delivery inspection documents given to them when they bought the coach and the LP gas leak tests?
Probably zero. Probably
real close to zero.
So I know you're not a lawyer, and I don't know the answer to this, but if I request it as a purchaser of the dealer, can I see the PDI? Can I see the full report? I would think most dealers will not give it to you. I mean, I just think most dealers come up with a story.
We never had to do those because we got a good reputation. We've never had to do that. Well, they could say, well, we never had to do that stuff because we got a good reputation. Our technicians go through everything, and we've never had any problems. We've never really needed to do that.
So if they give you a story, that means the answer is no. They're not going to give you
zero, not hero, zero.
They're going to give you no PDI. Just trust us, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of dealers, and I work with a handful of really good ones, and they tell me sometimes that most RVs need some kind of tweaking, some kind of work. Some of them need a lot on the on a PDI. They
a brand new one needs some of them need a lot.
Brand new one. Some of them do, and the good dealers will fix it. They really will. They will fix it, and they'll even show the purchaser, look, this is what we're looking at. If you have an issue,
here's a list of repairs we went through.
That's what a good dealer does. Most dealers won't do that. And if you ask for a PDI, a copy of the inspection, I'm not sure if you'll get it. You'll get a story, but you're not going to get the inspection report.
Yeah. And here's another thing people need to know. In your propane tank, if you've got propane in there, it's in a liquid form. You can shake it and feel it swashing around. Okay. But when you have 1 liquid gallon, I always say this, when you have 1 liquid gallon in the tank of propane, it's very explosive. Okay. And you turn it on and it goes, let's say you just open it up out in the atmosphere, and you open it up, you want to empty the tank for whatever reason, and it doesn't have a check valve on it, but you open it up and it leaks out. That 1 liquid gallon expands to 270 gallons of explosive vapor. That's the expansion rate of propane. So if you got 30 gallons, because you got 2 big tanks hooked up to the front of your coach, and you got 30 gallons, and the propane system, the tanks were connected to the system in the wrong manner, and there's a leak, all of it's coming out. Now, the 30 gallons equals 8,100 gallons of propane. Where's the leak at? Is it inside the coach or outside of the coach?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It only takes a candle or a small spark to ignite it.
Wow.
That's all it takes. Challenge anybody, go to YouTube and look up RV explosion and look at all the videos. Propane is if you guys are driving down the road and you see a tanker that looks like a submarine, got rounded ends on the end of it, and it says 1075 on the back of it, a little square thing that looks like a diamond, says 1075, stay away from it. If it gets into an accident, you don't want to be around.
Really?
Can you imagine that? You think of that, let's say it's got 5,000 gallons of propane. Times that by 270, that's the explosive vapor that's in that thing if it comes out.
You make me feel so confident about driving down the interstate, seeing some of those tankers.
Yeah, it's very explosive. Gasoline. Some of the tankers out there, the aluminum tankers, can roll over and they won't leak.
Yeah, but the check valves on those propane tanks are pretty dang good. I mean, that I'm sure there's some that are bad, but they don't. You can open the thing up and it's not going to leak.
Yeah, yeah, but sometimes, well, you can open it up on a tank and it won't leak. But if it's plumbed into the system of the RV and there's a leak someplace in the system, yeah,
Okay.
it's going to leak. The check
Yeah.
valve is not going to stop it unless it comes out super fast. That might check it out. But I've seen people actually take that little check valve and pull it out, thinking they're getting a bigger volume of LP gas going to the system.
Oh, not good. Not
Oh
good.
yeah, I've seen that many a times. Many a times.
All right, I think we've got enough, Stick. We got a lot of stuff, and I appreciate spending time with you.
I do want to say this.
Go ahead.
To all of you that are watching this video, make comments on the video, share it with your friends on the internet that love to camp. This is a video that you campers should be sharing with each other and spread the word, because this is going to possibly save somebody's life, save some mental anguish, and get the word out. And if you send him a request to have me come on again in the future, I'll be more than happy to do that. Jot down your questions and ask those questions, post those questions. I'll be more than happy to come back if this man wants me to come back. And yes, there are good RV dealers out there, but you got to know how to cherry pick them. Listen to this guy. If he's telling you about an RV dealer that you can trust, put your gas in your tank and go to that RV dealer. If it's 3 states in another part of the country, make the trip. Then you'll have happy trips when you go out camping.
I appreciate you saying that, Stick. I really do. I've done my research on it. There's no perfect RV dealer. There's no perfect RV. There's no perfect RV owner either. We're just human and we're trying to figure out the best way forward. But to walk into purchasing an RV blind, thinking that it's going to be like buying a Ford F-150 and you're going to be taken care of, you are in for a rude awakening. Like I was talking about, wisdom comes from patience, time, and experience.
And
you
homework.
Can't just get it. And if you own an RV, you're going to get the experience if you use it.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough for people that are watching this. I'm here to help him protect you as a consumer. I don't want you to experience what we've talked about, if at all possible. So make your comments, questions, and trust him with his judgment about RV dealers, because he wouldn't be promoting RV dealers that he thought were on the shady side, because it would soil his reputation.
Stick, my deal is about trust. It's about trust, and trust is slow and it takes time to develop. And I want people to trust me, and I'm fallible. I mean, I can make mistakes, but I want to think that I own those mistakes. And I don't know.
Trust is something you cannot buy. It's not on a shelf.
That's right. That's right.
You cannot buy trust.
You got to look for those people that you can trust. And sadly, most people let others down. That's just the way it is. All right. I'm going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
We will talk again soon, hopefully.
All right. I promise the next time we do one, I won't be smoking a cigar.
All right. You got it. So as you can see, Stick Bogart is not afraid to tell it like it is. And that's why his insights, I think, are worth listening to. Whether it is understanding the tactics of RV dealerships, the risks of not doing your homework as an RV buyer, or maybe the nuances of trust in the RV industry, Stick's perspective is one that we can all learn from. And that said, as with me or Stick or anybody else you put your trust in, be very careful. Because at the end of the day, if you end up making a terrible mistake, you will be the one to pay the price. If you found Stick's wisdom to be helpful, or even just, I don't know, a little bit entertaining, let me know in the comments. And was there anything in today's video that resonated with you? I'd like to know. I really would. Finally, make sure you share today's video with others who may benefit from watching it. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm the RV Wingman. Y'all be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home.